Knights of the Zodiac. I mean, look at this poster. There's only one way this could ever have gone, realistically speaking. It's out in theaters. It's a new action blockbuster based on a manga called Saint Seiya. Apparently, there's also two different animated adaptations of it that exist. One anime from the 1980s, one more recent Netflix show. I haven't read the manga, I haven't seen the previous adaptations, went into this one blind. This new film was surprisingly directed by Tomasz Bagiński, a once rather famous animation director over here in Poland. He was nominated for an Oscar for his animated short The Cathedral back in 2003. He made some interesting work for the Witcher video game series and a couple of modern adaptations of classic Polish fairy tales as short films. I think you can check some of them out on YouTube. Now he did this big feature film. The plot is a strange bastard child of Greek mythology, anime tropes, and Power Rangers. Seiya, the main character of the film, is a young dude who's competing in this underground martial arts ring, and he's trying to find his long lost sister. One day he learns that the ring is actually used to find and scout and recruit individuals who have connection to this magical energy called Cosmo. I'm not making this up. And two competing factions want to train these people to be Knights of the Zodiac. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the goddess Athena has been reborn into mortal body, conveniently a very hot girl about the same age as Seiya, and one faction wants to kill her, the other one wants to protect her. Again, I am not making any of this up. So as you can guess, Seiya has connection to Cosmo and they try to recruit him. So, before recording this review, I actually went through my list of movies that I watched and reviewed and scored, and I was looking for ones with the lowest scores, because I really wanted to use the line, Knights of the Zodiac is the worst film I've seen since, and I didn't really have a good idea off the top of my head which movie to use as a comparison. And as I was scrolling through the list, I stumbled upon a piece of filmmaking named Jiu-Jitsu from back in 2020, and I thought, this is it. Not only because they're of similar quality, which is shit, but also because they share a strangely large number of other similarities. Both are action films featuring martial arts mixed with supernatural mambo-jumbo, futuristic technology, cosmic powers, and CGI bullshit in their final acts. Both have absolutely atrocious acting with nonsense plots and wooden dialogue. Both had protagonists who were charisma vacuums. Both were boring beyond belief. Now, what Jiu-Jitsu had was Nicolas Cage, if only for a brief couple of scenes. Knights of the Zodiac instead has Sean Bean, who's trying his hardest to keep a straight face while explaining the plot to the audience. It also has a concept that it's just a bunch of different lore thrown together and they do not work together. It's very patchworky and strange. And also, by the way, why is the film called Knights of the Zodiac if the knights have nothing to do with Zodiac or the Zodiac signs? Like, each knight is called something different. They have a different armor, right? The main dude is the Knight of the Pegasus, and the main antagonist is the Knight of the Phoenix. Those are not Zodiac signs. What are you talking about? Why? What's the connection? Also, it seems like someone has run out of ideas in the process, because besides those two that actually show up, they mention other knights or other armors in passing, and they're called the silver armor and the gold armor. What? Just stick to one naming convention. By the way, the costume design overall in this film is possibly the single worst I've ever seen. It makes Power Rangers, the TV show from back in the day, look like Dune. It looks and feels like something thrown together by a first-time cosplayer with complete lack of skills in their garage for a total of $12. And that's for all the costumes together. Honestly, it's embarrassing that someone would see this film and say, yes, let's release this in a movie theater. There's a moment in the film when a bad guy decides to join the other bad guys, and they say they're gonna give him some, prototype technology to bring him up to speed, to make him stronger. And then one guy says ominously that they didn't tell him about the extreme body modifications that they were gonna perform. And then the guy shows up asking, what did you do to me? and and it's still the same dude. It's just the dude's face in a black suit with some plastic glued onto it. It's made out like he's become some sort of cyborg, mechanical, organical hybrid, and it's so horrible. But it just looks like he put on some bad clothing. It's unbelievable how bad it gets. I mean, I could rag on and on about the different aspects of the film, but I think you get the point by now. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. From the ending, it's clear that it was meant to kickstart the whole franchise, but I'll be surprised if a sequel ever gets made because this is straight up dumpster fire. If it was 15 minutes long, I would almost recommend seeing it just to experience the train wreck that it is. But at almost 2 hours, it's simply a waste of everyone's time. Stay away from this one, guys.